Good morning and welcome back to our channel.
Please click on this link to watch the first intermittent fasting video.
So a lot of research has shown that with the metabolic switch.
So here's just a quick reminder of what the metabolic switch is. The metabolic switch is when you use fasting to transition the body in a state of storing fat to a state of releasing fat, basically using fat as an energy source.
Changes start to occur in your body and in your brain. So I want to tell you a little bit more about the benefits of fasting, not only focusing on the fat burn. Studies have shown that there has been improvements with thinking and memory. The intermittent fasting actually boosts verbal memory in adults.
So verbal memory is the ability to remember what you read or hear. It includes the ability to read a word, sentence, or a paragraph and then recall it when needed.
Fasting also has benefits for the heart. It improved blood pressures and resting heart rate, as well as other heart-related measurements. So it actually also improves physical performance if you're an athletic kind of person, especially for young men. It showed that when they fasted for 16 hours, there was a lot of fat burn, but not loss of muscle mass. And it also showed that there's a lot better endurance in running. So obviously it's also good for diabetes and obesity, because if you are going to fast, you're definitely going to be losing weight. And then they've also seen that it's also good for tissue health. So people had less tissue damage after surgery if they were intermittent fasting. There have also been some studies that say if you exercise while you're in a fast, so let's say you started fasting last night at 6 and you went for your jog this morning and you're already at a 12 to 13 hour fast, your body burns more fat during that period of time than it would have if you'd eaten something right before you went for your exercise. So another benefit that they've seen is it also improves your insulin sensitivity, which is obviously quite important for people like me who are insulin resistant. So your levels of insulin will drop dramatically, and the lower insulin levels make your stored body fat more accessible.
So a quick summary of insulin resistance. This is when your body has a resistance to the hormone insulin. This results into an increase in your blood sugar levels. The hormone insulin helps control the amount of sugar or glucose in the blood. When a person has insulin resistance, it means that it's not taking the sugar out of the blood. Because the sugar is not being taken from the blood, the body continues to produce insulin, thinking that there is too much sugar in the blood. This means that the glucose or the sugar in the blood keeps building up, and this can eventually lead to type 2 diabetes.
I think when we talk about these things, it's important to understand why it's so important that insulin sensitivity needs to be good. Because, for instance, in my case, because my insulin levels are too high, it's affecting my hormone levels at the moment. So that can in the long run be detrimental when you're planning on having children, and it could be bad for your skin, it could cause acne, it could cause awkward hair growth, especially for women. So as I'm speaking about these benefits, I realized that it's just important to do your own extra research when I say that it's good for your insulin levels, or when I say that it's good for tissue damage, that you go and research why is that something that you need in your life. Why is it important that we take care of our insulin levels? Why is it important that tissue damage isn't much? So I implore you to go and do extra research on this. And if you want me to do the research for you, please leave a message in the comments so that I know what you guys are looking to hear about or what you guys have questions about. So as I've mentioned, it has an effect on your growth hormones, which means you can lose more fat but gain more muscle, and because of that it actually increases your metabolic rate by about 3.6 to 14%.
Metabolic rate is the amount of calories an individual burns at rest in one day.
Then some of the other studies that have been done is that fasting is actually good for inflammation.
A new study has concluded that intermittent fasting reduces inflammation. This condition can lead to so many diseases such as diabetes, multiple sclerosis, and inflammatory bowel syndrome.
They've also done some studies on animals and seen that it could possibly even prevent cancer. And then one of the important ones for the ladies, it also has an anti-aging effect. So that's good.
So they've proven that fasting supercharges the metabolism. This makes the body break down nutrients more efficiently. It slows down the degeneration of DNA, which occurs when we age, and accelerates DNA repair, thus slowing down the aging process.
Eating healthy is really difficult, and the most difficult part about it is maintaining it. When you fast, you also have less meals that you need to plan, less thinking that you need to do, which ultimately helps us a lot, so we can be really excited and put a lot of effort into one delicious but healthy meal. When you're on all of these quick weight loss diets and things, you have a certain amount of something that you need to eat all the time, and it becomes a burden emotionally. So I think in our lives, the intermittent fasting along with the low carb lifestyle has made our lives simpler, easier to maintain. We're not thinking about food all the time. So I hope this gives you a better idea of what intermittent fasting is, why we've decided to implement it into our lives, how we've implemented it into our diet, and I hope it encourages you to take the step and pick one of the 3 fasting options, do a bit more research about it, and try to apply it into your life. Honestly, if you can do that for a month, you will start to feel a difference, not just see a difference in the way you feel, the way you operate, the way you think. So take that leap and live your low carb life. And please don't forget to like this video, to subscribe to our channel, and to put your questions in the comments, and we will try to answer them as factually as we can. We will see you next week.